We weren't live this whole time, were we?
No, not.
Okay. All right. All right. Welcome back to the Environment and Transportation Committee voting list number 3. The first bill is House Bill 22, declawing of cats. Delegate Gilchrist.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 22 prohibits declawing cats. The subcommittee took this bill up. We amended the bill to strike language that requires the State Board of Veterinary medical examiners to suspend or revoke a license, and we amended it to authorize the board to suspend, revoke, or revoke the license of a veterinarian who willfully violates the prohibition. Move the amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, debate on the bill. Let me put my little participant thing. It looks like there's no debate, so we'll.
Okay, wait a minute. Mr.
Okay.
Chairman,
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
you want me to explain my vote or do you want me to speak now about my issue?
Go ahead and speak, but make it like debate or discussion. Go ahead.
Well, I said this in the subcommittee that I spent a great deal of time with my veterinarian this past weekend, who I have a lot of faith in. He's done some great work with my dogs surgically about this whole issue. And she said, it's virtually not done. She said, every once in a while, very infrequently, somebody will come in and she sends them to a laser surgeon. She doesn't do it herself anymore. She said, but I got to tell you, she said, it really bothers me that when they do these spay and neuter programs on these feral cat colonies, that they clip the ears on these cats. She said, it really bothers me the way they clip these cats' ears. She said, I do a bright orange tattoo inside their ears when when she spay and neuters the feral cats. So, her perspective was, to make a long story short, that she didn't feel like legislators should be telling these doctors how to do their business. And I quite frankly agree that I don't feel like I should be voting on policy to change what goes between a doctor and the patient in the form of what's best in that situation. So that's the reason why I'm voting against it. So
That is so
Yay.
interesting. And I feel like
Yay.
that issue
Yay.
will come up again in the future, dealing with women's health.
Oh my
Fascinating.
goodness,
Yeah.
nice to
Okay,
hear
all
that.
right.
Whatever you do, don't tell them what. Oh my God.
Okay. Any other debate on the bill before we go to a roll call vote? Roll call.
Stein,
yes.
Holmes,
Aye.
Learman,
Aye.
Fraser Hidalgo,
Yes.
Otto,
No.
Jacobs,
No.
Wyville,
I'm gonna go with no.
Ampery,
Yes.
Liberty,
Negative, no.
Wells,
Absolutely, yes.
Love,
Yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Prettyman,
Yes.
Foley.
Did you say Foley?
Yes.
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Lehman,
Absolutely, yes.
Tarasa,
Yes.
Parrott,
No.
Boyce,
Yes.
Clark.
Jerry?
Yes.
Yes. Jalisi,
Yes.
Anderton,
Yep.
Gilchrist,
Yes.
Healy,
Aye.
Chairman.
Chairman votes yes. What
Right.
was what's the margin?
20-5.
Okay. All right. House Bill 22 passes. House Bill 40.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This House Bill 40 was
reported out favorable with amendment from the Housing and Real Property Subcommittee. And what the bill does is it clarifies that a board of directors on a condominium, and this bill is only related to condominiums. The board of directors of a condominium may not withhold or agree to withhold from unit owners the terms of any legal agreements to which a council of unit owners is a party. Additionally, the bill establishes enhanced disclosure standards for agreements that impact unit owners. Amendment number 1, Mr. Chair, is technical. Amendment number 2 just requires the disclosures that we just discussed earlier. Move the amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there a second on the amendments?
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments? If not, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes seem to have it.
The bill is amended, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Discussion on the bill. Delegate Foley, you had your hand. Oh, you took it down.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I was just wondering if we were going to be able to add co-sponsors like we did before.
Yeah, we are, but let me just say something before we get there. I and other chairmen have been coming under a lot of pressure from the speaker's office to try to limit that to bills that have amendments, and this has an amendment. And the reason for that is that when there are bills that have 0 amendments, they go zipping by on the floor very quickly. So this bill has an amendment, and so we will have a pile-on amendment. So yeah.
And what about the previous bill, Mr. Speaker?
That's gone.
It's
That's
gone. It's
gone.
too late.
Chairman.
Card laid, the card played.
Yep. Sorry. Okay. Delegate Watson's bill is favorable with amendments and seconded. Any further discussion on the bill? Seeing none, we'll go to a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, since there is an amendment on this bill, if you want to be a co-sponsor, just put your hand up in the in Zoom, and I will then read them off. Okay, so it seems like Marvin Holmes, Brooke Learman, Linda Foley, Mary Lehman, Roxanne Prettyman, Ann Healy, Jay Jalisi. Okay, read that back, somebody.
Sure. I have delegates Holmes, Learman, Foley, Lehman, Prettyman, Healy, and Jalisi.
Okay, there you have it. House Bill 40 passes. House Bill 52.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 52, Wildlife Trafficking Prevention, as amended, prohibits a person from purchasing, selling, offering for sale, or possessing with the intent to sell any item that the person knows or should know is a covered animal species, part or product, with specified exceptions. Move the amendments, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there a second on the amendments?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote on the amendments. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion or debate on the bill. Ann, do you have your hand up for the?
From before, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. And what about you, Jay? Do you have your hand up for? Okay. Any discussion on the bill? Delegate Healy.
No, I tried to put it down and it went up again.
Oh no.
Sorry. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Let's proceed to I think we should do a roll call vote on this. Roll call.
All right. Stein,
Yes.
Holmes,
Aye.
Learman,
Yes.
Fraser Hidalgo,
Yes.
Otto,
No.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Wyval,
Not a hard question.
He's working on it.
Yes, the space bar is not working for the record.
Ampry,
Yes.
Siliberti,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Love,
Yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Prettyman,
Yes.
Foley,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Lehman,
I vote aye.
Tarassa,
Yes.
Parrot,
No.
Boyce,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
DeLisi,
Yes. Yes.
Anderton,
Yes.
Gilchrist,
Yes.
Healy.
Aye.
Chairman votes yes. What do we have as the margin?
23-2.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay, House Bill 52 passes. Are there,
Co-sponsor.
yeah, pile-on amendments. Since we amended the bill, so we'll do pile-on. How many, if you want to be a sponsor of this bill, just put your hand up in Zoom. Am I already a sponsor on this, by the way?
No.
Does anybody know?
No, this is 52, correct?
This is 52.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Okay, in that case, whoops. I'm gonna put my hand up. All right. Okay, so we have the chairman, me, Kumar Barve. Then we have Sheila Ruth, Mary Lehman, Linda Foley, Brooke Learman, Vaughn Stewart, Marvin Holmes, the vice chairman, Dana Stein, DFH, Jay Jalisi, and Healy.
Mr.
Anyone
Chair,
else?
something?
What?
May I say something?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone for that and for my colleagues across the aisle. Just so you know, Senators Bailey, Simonaire, and Carozza are all co-sponsors as well. So feel free to jump on.
Okay. Oh, there's such a bunch of liberals, the Republicans in the Senate, aren't they? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I read that back?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, I have Ruth, Lehman, Foley, Learman, Holmes, Stewart, Stein, Jalisi, Barve, Healy, and Fraser Hidalgo.
That sounds right. Okay. Let's go to House Bill 59. Who has
Thank you,
that?
Mr. Chair. As amended, HB 59 requires an entity that engages in local lobbying activities to register with the agency responsible for implementing lobbying in that jurisdiction and be a regulated lobbyist under the lobbying provisions. The bill also requires the State Ethics Commission, which I love is called the SEC, to create model lobbying provisions for local governments to adopt. Move the amendments.
Is there a second on the amendments?
Second.
Any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Opposed,
Aye.
no. The ayes
Aye.
have it. The ayes have it. Bills before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the bill? Jay, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I
Yes.
just wanted to know,
Yes.
what does the bill do?
ahead.
Actually, it's Jay Jacobs is who I
Oh,
recognize.
okay.
Yeah. Jay Jacobs?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I have in my notes that about the amendment, did the amendment remove the banker's objection?
I don't know about the bankers, but Mako does not have my understanding after discussion with Mako is that they are now fine.
But you don't know about the bankers?
I don't remember the bankers. They weren't, yeah, I never talked to the bankers. Sorry.
The bankers aren't on the witness list.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have them anywhere.
All right, Delegate Jalisi.
This bill only covers companies or organizations that are lobbying in Annapolis, right?
This is about harmonizing local lobbying rules with state lobbying rules. So it's saying if you are a county or one of the few municipalities that is covered by lobbying requirements, you need to adopt lobbying disclosures just like the state has. So if you are a lobbying entity and you lobby in Annapolis, you have to register so that people know who your clients are and know what you do. And there's very clear guidelines along who has to register. Like if the mom in my district brings her kids down, she's not a registered lobbyist, right? But if somebody gets paid by a client to come meet with me, they are a lobbyist, right? So this says, okay, same thing with our counties. If you have to register under these provisions, then you need to register. You need to register if you qualify for one of these provisions.
So there was a nonprofit in my district that was sending out mailers for paid family leave. And nonprofits, according to the laws right now, they don't have to register. So there was no authority line. I contacted the Board of Elections. I wanted to know if that changes now for those which are 501c3 organizations, that they have to register and be a lobbyist. If they are, for example, that I just gave you, lobbying for paid family leave, do they have to do this?
Right, so it would depend is the answer on how much they're spending, on how much they're being paid. There are grassroots lobbying provisions. So some nonprofits are covered under a grassroots lobbying provision as well. So I can't tell you if they would be covered or not, because it just depends on how many expenses they have and what kind of compensation, or if they're in the grassroots lobbying provision. It would depend on whether they meet the requirements under that law as well.
But the IRS exempts them, and the Board of Elections exempts them too. The company I'm mentioning
They're
is
exempt from
Maryland,
paying property taxes under but they're not exempt. I mean, there are nonprofits who lobby, like the ACLU registers every year, and each individual. So there are many nonprofit entities that are lobbyist organizations, and they register every year.
But these nonprofits, like the company I'm mentioning is Maryland Raise, or Raise Maryland or something. And they sent out 3 mailers just in my district. I don't know about other districts. So they must have spent at least $30,000.
So they may be covered by the grassroots lobbying provisions. I mean, I can't tell you.
So is there a cap? Is there a cap, a monetary cap on that grassroots lobbying provision?
No. People can spend what they want. This isn't about curtailing activities. This is about disclosure. You can lobby. We're not stopping lobbying. We're just saying you need to disclose that you're doing it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Next question goes to Delegate Healy.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to know about when you said the very few municipalities. What are the criteria for municipalities to have to go through this?
There's currently a list, and I will bring it with me to the floor, but I don't have it in front of me. I don't know, Jen or Dia, if you want to say which municipalities. There's a list of municipalities that are larger, the ones that are bigger, that have already adopted lobbying provisions. Jen and Dia are on from ethics, and they might be able to explain that too.
Dia?
Yeah, my question is it related to the size of the municipality, the number of people, or the size of the budget of the municipality, or something like that?
Hi, this is Jennifer Alger. Hello, members of the committee. Jennifer Alger, I'm Executive Director with the State Ethics Commission. So hopefully, Delegate Healy, I can address that question for you. It is the factors on whether or not a municipality has to have lobbying provisions. It would depend on the size of the municipality. The commission looks at factors like population, the government functions, the budget, number of employees, various factors like that in determining whether or not a municipal corporation would be exempt from the requirement to include lobbying provisions in their local ethics law. Right now, there are 39 municipal corporations that are required to include lobbying provisions in their local ethics law.
And is that list available?
Yes, it is on the commission's website, and I can make sure that the committee also gets a copy of that as well. Unless Delegate Learman, you said you have a copy there?
I have a copy that I can print out and share with everybody. Thank you to Dia Daly for that.
Can I get it by email instead of a printed version?
I can text it to you right now if you want.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, Delegate Parrott has a question.
Thank you. I just saw that you mentioned that Mako is no longer opposed. I read their opposition. What was it that changed that made Mako okay with the bill?
I think just because the amendment now puts it in line with what the state already does. Also had some individual conversations with some counties, and after they saw the amendment, they were no longer concerned about it.
Okay, didn't the bill already reflect the state requirements though?
I mean, it sort of changed, I don't know, it changed, I mean, we basically like eliminated one section of it that would have, it just, we simplified the bill, basically. We eliminated one of the sections in it.
It didn't take all of the state requirements in, now it does.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, this is just about disclosure. We're not stopping people from talking to anybody. It's just about disclosure.
Any further discussion, debate, or questions? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. We'll do a voice vote on the bill. This bill's been amended, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
I'm not opposed. I'd like to abstain, Mr. Chair. Because I don't
Jalisi-
understand the implications of it. I'm sorry.
Delegate Jalisi is abstaining. Any other abstentions or, okay, the bill.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to say I was looking at the wrong bill. I apologize for asking that banking question.
That's okay.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Made me feel like I was like, oh man, I missed something, but
Yeah, why would the bankers care?
yeah, I
Right,
figured
okay.
the bankers would come call me immediately after this.
That's
so.
exactly right. Why would they care?
Why would they care about ethics? Okay, bill passes 24-0 with one abstention. House Bill 71, Delegate, who's gonna take that?
So Delegate Stewart will be taking this bill.
Okay, great. Delegate Stewart.
Hi everyone. So I'm about to start this my hearing. So this is perfectly the wrong timing.
Okay. I can do
but
it.
If we can just move this down the list, I can probably come back and do it in a little while.
Yeah, we'll just hold it to the end. Okay.
Okay.
House Bill 143. Jim?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The subcommittee got ahead of itself on these Sunday.
No, actually, let me get ahead of you. Actually, there are a couple of hunting bills here, and I want to hold them. What, Jim?
Four of them.
The four of them. I want to hold them, and let me tell you what my rationale for that is. None of these bills get out of the EHEA committee, so I'm going to call up Pinsky and ask what the deal is, and if there's any kind of an amendment that will allow us to pass these bills. Because what's been happening the last 3 years, I believe, is we've been passing these Sunday hunting bills, and they just don't go anywhere in EHEA. So I will report back to the sponsors and to the committee at the next voting session as to what I was able to find out from Paul Pinsky. So there you have it. Otherwise, I'm pretty convinced. He told me last year that he just didn't want to pass any of these bills, and I want to talk to him about it, because otherwise he'll just be sending something over that he doesn't vote on. And so we can wait a week, and I will report back to the sponsors before the next voting session. Okay, so I'm going to hold 143. And then when we get to the others, we'll hold them as well. House Bill 147.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. I have that bill. So this bill is a Delegate Charcudian's bill. It's the Maryland Farms and Families Fund, Maryland Food and Agriculture Resiliency Mechanism Grant Program. So the bill alters the purpose and use of the Maryland Farms and Families Fund. It establishes the Food and Agriculture Resiliency Mechanism Grant Program and fund, and it establishes a Maryland Farm to School Meal Grant Pilot Program and fund. There's mandated funding for the Maryland Farms and Families. It increases that funding from $100,000 annually to $300,000 annually, beginning in fiscal 24. The Maryland Food and Agriculture Resiliency Fund is $1.25 million beginning in fiscal 24, and the Maryland Farms to School Meal Grant Pilot Fund is set at least $500,000 in fiscal year 24 and 2025.
I'm sorry, are there any amendments?
There is, sorry, I may have my first time.
That's okay.
But there is one amendment. It strikes language that would have required a certain formula be used to determine grant funds under the pilot program and makes clarifying changes.
Okay, is there a second for the amendments?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Bills before us as amended. Okay, any discussion on the bill? Then we'll proceed to a voice vote.
Mr. Chairman.
I actually had a
question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Delegate Wyville.
That's all right. I just had a question on the amendment. So the amendment doesn't address the mandated spending. It's still at 2 million.
That's
Right.
the amendment does not address the mandated funding.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sorry, I'm sorry I didn't see your hand. Okay, Sheila Ruth has her hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to ask, do we need to move the bill first before we move to discussion? We did the amendments.
Yeah, we're on debate of the bill as amended right now. Didn't we? Did I not? I think we moved the amendments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
we
we moved the
yeah,
amendment.
okay, so the bill's before us is amended. Is there any debate? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, so that's Wyville, Parrott, who else? Wyville and Parrott are opposed. Everybody else is in favor. That should be 23-2.
Can we do a
No,
pile on, Mr.
22
Chairman?
I'm sorry, 22-2.
Can we do a
What?
pile on?
Sure. How many people want to be sponsors of, co-sponsors of this bill? Put your hand up in the Zoom. Okay, wow, a lot. Okay. Sarah Love, Sheila Ruth, Melissa Wells, Jen Terraza, Linda Foley, Brooke Learman, Regina Boyce, Marlon Ampry, Vaughn Stewart, Roxanne Prettyman, David Frazier Hidalgo, Mary Lehman, Ann Healy, Marvin Holmes, Jay Jalisi. Please read that back when you have a chance.
Sure. That I have delegates Love, Ruth, Wells, Terrassa, Foley, Learman, Boyce, Ampry, Stewart, Prettyman, Frazier Hidalgo, Lehman, Healy, Holmes, and Jalisi.
Okay. Hey, Vaughn, I thought you were missing, so you were here voting for, so make sure he's marked as in favor. So
Yeah,
that
I'll
should
turn
be-
my camera off when I'm gone. It's
Okay.
The chair of DCM is asking a lot of questions right now, so I'm not gone yet.
Okay. All right. That bill passes. I'm going to hold Delegate Clark's Calvert Sunday hunting bill, and I will report back to you before the voting session next week. Delegate Sham 221.
Mr. Chairman, I have that bill. HB 221 was recommended favorably by the Natural Resources Subcommittee without amendments. The bill is in the same posture as House Bill 755, which passed the House in 2021. And it establishes that recreational hunting or fishing opportunities that are provided using a grant awarded from the Healing, Hunting, and Fishing Fund may include providing at no cost, first of all, an angler's license and trout stamps, also a Chesapeake Bay and coastal sport fishing license, or 3, a hunting license and any corresponding stamps. Move favorable.
No amendment?
No amendment.
Okay, motion is favorable.
Second.
And there's a second. Any discussion on the bill before we vote? Okay, in that case, all those in favor?
Mr.
signify-
Chairman, there are a few people
Oh.
with their hands up. I'm
Oh,
not
you're
sure if
right.
it's from the last bill or this.
Anybody want to debate on this, Delegate Jalisi? No. Okay, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The bill passes unanimously among those present. House Bill 231, Montgomery County Delegation. Who has that?
I do.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 231, MC 18-22, voted favorable out of committee out of subcommittee with no amendments. House Bill 231 authorizes Montgomery County to designate the Montgomery County Department of Transportation in lieu of the Montgomery County Police Department to implement the county's automated program, and move the bill.
is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill? All right, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The bill passes unanimously in the committee. House Bill 343
Thank you,
is,
Mr. Chair. House
Okay.
Bill 343 received an unfavorable report from the subcommittee. This bill repeals existing requirements of interest rates on security deposits. The motion is unfavorable from the subcommittee, Mr. Chair.
is there a second?
Second.
Unfavorable motion. Is there debate, discussion, tirades? Okay, we'll proceed to a vote. The motion is unfavorable. All those in favor of the unfavorable motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the unfavorable motion?
No.
Okay, that would be delegates Wyval, Parrott, Otto. Anybody else against the unfavorable motion? Okay, that's it. So that's 22-3.
Sure, I had a question.
Yeah, Delegate Parrott?
Sorry, thank you. Before this one, were we voting on House Bill 231? That was the voice vote.
Yeah.
Can I go no on that one?
Okay, I'll let you do it this time, but ordinarily a card laid is a card played.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It's not inconvenient. Mark Neil Parrott negative on 231. Okay, but I'm not going to do that again, you people. It's there. Crazy kids. Okay, House Bill 358. House Bill 358.
House Bill 358, Mr. Chair, received an unfavorable report from the subcommittee. It reduces the requirement of eligible voters from 100% down to 60%. You move unfavorable, have an unfavorable report from the subcommittee, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion about the unfavorable motion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor of the unfavorable motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The unfavorable motion carries unanimously among those present. House Bill 368.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That would be mine.
Mhm.
House Bill 368 was voted out of subcommittee favorably with an amendment that adds circumstances under which the MVA is prohibited from assessing a penalty for a lapsed or terminated security. Move the amendment.
Is there a second for the amendment?
Second.
Is there any discussion about the amendment before we vote? Okay, let's vote on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. Bill's before us as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on Delegate Corman's bill before we vote? Okay. All those in favor of Delegate Corman's bill signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Who's opposed? Anybody? Okay, the bill carries unanimously because everybody's present. Okay. House Bill
Mr. Chairman?
380. What?
Can we pile onto that one?
No, for God's sake.
Did that bill have an amendment?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it did have an amendment.
Okay, pylon amendment. Put your hand up in the Zoom if you want to be a co-sponsor. Okay, Jen Terraza, Vaughn Stewart, Linda Foley, Regina Boyce, Mary Lehman, Sheila Ruth, Roxanne Prettyman, and Jay Gilisi, Delegate Gilisi. Anybody else?
I'm sorry, what
Can you
bill number
read-
was that again? Sorry.
Huh?
368, 368,
Thank
HB
you.
368.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Back, Mr. Chairman.
What's that? Yeah, go ahead and read it back.
All right, I have Terraza, Stewart, Foley, Boyce, Lehman, Ruth, Prettyman, and Jalisi.
Okay, I think that's it. And everybody who put their hand up, put it down. We're going to go to the next bill. House Bill 382.
That's mine. This is local government salaries. The motion is favorable with no amendments. The subcommittee voted. It's a
Favorable.
local bill, local courtesy.
Okay.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this bill? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? The bill carries unanimously. House Bill 396.
That's also a local government by county agencies. This is a Montgomery County Planning Board. It's part of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. And it has support of both delegations. The motion is favorable from the subcommittee.
Is there a second? Okay. Any discussion on this local bill before we vote? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The bill carries unanimously. House Bill 397.
House Bill 397 is a bi-county bill. It has the support of both delegations and was voted favorably by the subcommittee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bill before we vote? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimously. House Bill 400.
I'm not sure, is that mine still?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is a WSSC. This is the other bi-county agency. It has the support of both delegations. This is changing the veterans' preference to be the same as the states. They used to have their own, and they were going to repeal their own and adopt the state standards. So the motion is favorable from the subcommittee.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the bill before we vote? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The bill carries unanimously. House Bill 401.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 401 received a favorable recommendation from the subcommittee. There are no amendments. This is a Prince George's County only bill relevant to reserve studies. And this bill simply mirrors what Montgomery County did last year in their reserve study, Mr. Chair. And if there are questions, I can present to you a 7-minute video clip from WSA US9 Channel News, if you'd like, Mr. Chair.
Well, I don't want that.
Move favorable, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is there
Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion on, Delegate Parrott has his hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just had a question. This is a local bill, Prince George's County. Did the council vote on this, the county council?
It's the delegation.
The delegation bill, the county, I don't know if the county council weighed in on it or not. I will tell you this.
You don't care?
No. I will tell you this. As all of you know, there are just 2 CCOCs in the state. One is Montgomery County and one is Prince George's County. I am a commissioner on both. The Prince George's County CCOC really appreciated the fact that we did have a reserve study in Prince George's County. So although the county council did not weigh in on it specifically, I can tell you that they are very appreciative that we do have a reserve study within Prince George's County.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no.
And if they did vote, how do you think it would go?
I would think yes.
All right.
Really? That's the question.
Hang on one second. Hang on one second. They would have voted yes.
Thank you, Delegate.
Okay, any further discussion before we vote? We're going to do a roll call vote here. Roll call.
All right. Stein,
Yes.
Holmes,
Yes.
Learman,
Yes.
Fraser Hidalgo,
Yes.
Otto,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Wyville,
Yes.
Amphrey,
Yes.
Siliberti is muted.
Barry.
That's a thumbs up. I
Yes.
like it.
Okay.
Wells, also a thumbs up. I'm looking down as I call these out, so the thumbs up is not nearly as helpful.
Sorry. Yes.
Love,
Yes.
Ruth,
Yes.
Prettyman,
Yes.
Foley,
Yes.
Stewart. That's
Yes.
thumbs up.
Yes.
Layman,
Aye.
Terasa,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
What?
Boyce.
You're voting yes? Okay, fine, bye.
Well, I heard the council would vote for it, so I know that's.
Okay.
Boyce,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Jalisi,
Yes.
Anderton,
Yes.
Gilchrist,
Yes.
Healy,
Yes.
Chairman.
No, just joking, yes. I really thought there'd be some people voting no, so okay, shows you what I know. All right, the bill passes unanimously. House Bill 434.
Mr. Chair,
We have
that
to
would
hold
be me.
this one.
What?
We don't have the letter, Delegate Fraser Hidalgo, so we're gonna have to hold this one.
Oh, all right. Okay,
That
no
was the only
letter.
thing we were waiting on.
We'll hold that. 485.
Mr. Chairman, Sunday hunting hold.
Yeah, okay. Okay, 537.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You snuck up on me there, Mr. Chair. House Bill 537, Mr. Chair, received an unfavorable report from the subcommittee, Mr. Chair. I move unfavorable on this bill 537, Mr. Chair.
Is there a
Second.
second? Okay, any discussion on the unfavorable motion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor of the unfavorable motion on 537 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The unfavorable motion carries unanimously. House Bill 546.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 546 was voted out of subcommittee favorably. There are no amendments. House Bill 546 prohibits a pedestrian from catching or attempting to catch a fish by means on a.
Somebody needs to
Sounds good.
not talk while DFH is talking.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
apologize. That's my mic for once.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Dave.
HB 546 prohibits a pedestrian from catching or attempting to catch fish by any means on or under the Maryland Route 18 Kent Island Drawbridge over the Kent Narrows in Queen Anne County. Same bill we had before. Move the bill, please.
Is there a second? Did the Senate just not move it? Yeah, okay. Any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The bill passes unanimously. House Bill 556 is a Sunday hunting bill. I'm going to hold that and talk to the Senate Chairman. House Bill 5.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask you a question? Delegate Stewart's camera's off. Do we count him as voting or not?
No, he's excused.
No, okay, so
He
he
put
is
in the
not.
chat that he was out.
He was supposed to text me away. I don't know how many bills have been
He
out.
did a chat a while ago.
He just sent it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, all right. House Bill
You ready for me?
558.
Okay, House Bill 558. This is a bill, the subcommittee recommendation was favorable. This bill establishes that camping and incidental outdoor stays are included under the definition of agritourism. Move the bill. Favorable.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on the bill before we proceed to a voice vote? Seeing none, we will vote.
I had a question, Mr. Chairman. Is
Oh,
this this is
pardon me. Yeah, go ahead.
statewide? This is statewide, correct? Not just for his county?
Yes.
All right.
It's
thank you.
enabling. Every local jurisdiction decides what they want their definition of agritourism to be. And this enables them to add these particular pieces of it.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. On the bill, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? The bill any abstentions? The bill carries unanimous among those present. House Bill 620. Ann, that you?
Let's see, I'm looking. Yeah, this is another local bill, sheriff salary. These are done every 4 years. And it has the support of the local delegation. There are no amendments. The subcommittee voted favorable.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this local bill before we vote? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimously. House Bill 679.
Will be me, Mr. Chair. House Bill 679 was voted favorably out of the subcommittee with no amendments. House Bill 679 expands the definition of vehicle salesman to include any individual who, for a commission other than compensation under any form of agreement or agreement with a dealer, negotiates or induces any other person to enter into a financial security, insurance, or warrant agreement. Move the bill.
No amendments? No amendments?
No amendments, Mr. Chair. No amendments.
Okay, any discussion on the bill before we vote? All righty, then we'll proceed to a vote.
Mr. Chairman, I believe that Delegate Parrott was trying to ask something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Neil.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I guess I'm a little confused. I was reading the fiscal note and the bill. If someone's, is this specifically selling a car, or it also says other things like insurance, I guess for car insurance?
Yeah, it's specifically for when you go to a car dealership and you're purchasing a vehicle in a car dealership in the state of Maryland. And when you go to the finance office, and that's the opportunity they get to do the financing for the vehicle. It just basically says that they should be licensed as well. The licenses.
They're already licensed, right?
No, they're not. They're not. Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're not licensed.
They're not required to be licensed. According to testimony, a lot of them are in Maryland, but they are not required to be.
But as Marvin Holmes would tell you, all they really have to do is go get a business card at
Staples. Yeah.
Very good. And this wouldn't affect anyone who's selling their own car or multiple cars for personal sales, is that right?
No, this is just about financing. This is just about financing.
All right, thank you.
Okay. We will proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thanks.
Anyone opposed?
Louis called me
Okay,
again.
Vaughn Stewart is back, by the way, and anyone abstaining? Okay, the bill passes unanimously. House Bill 969.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is mine as well. House Bill 969 does have one subcommittee amendment, which just alters the reporting date. Move the amendment.
Is there a second?
Is this 696?
Yes, 696.
696, yeah. Okay, on the amendment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
I'd like a
And-
pile on.
Yeah, but let's first, any debate? Okay, no debate. We will proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Anyone abstaining? Okay, let's do a pile-on amendment. If you want to be amended on, raise your hand in Zoom. Dave, am I on this bill of yours?
I don't remember, but you definitely should be.
Nobody's on it.
You probably are, but what you should do is put your hand up in the Zoom.
Yeah, okay. All righty. Kumar Barve, then Sarah Love, Dana Stein, Ann Healy, Marvin Holmes, Linda Foley, Brooke Learman, Regina Boyce, Mary Lehman, Jen Terraza, Melissa Wells, Vaughn Stewart, Jay Jalisi, Roxanne Prettyman, Sheila Ruth, Marlon Empry. Anybody else? Well, somebody read that back, I guess.
Yeah, definitely read that one back. All right, I have Love, Stein, Learman, Healy, Barve, Holmes, Foley, Boyce, Lehman, Terraza, Wells, Stewart, Jalisi, Prettyman, Ruth, and Ampray.
That sounds about right. Okay, everybody put your hands down and let's go to House Bill 713.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. House Bill 713 was voted favorably out of committee with a couple of amendments, 3 amendments. Amendment number 1 alters the application of the bill. Amendment number 2 strikes specific penalties. And amendment number 3 strikes requirements that a police officer provide certain educational materials. I did my best Rhodes impression. I hope people got it.
Huh?
Amendment number 1.
Oh, all right.
I was trying to do my Rhodes impression. Apparently Sarah's the only one that got it.
Okay. Is there a second on the amendments?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, we'll vote on the
Actually, I had a question.
Oh, sure, Delegate Wyville.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do the amendments remove all fines and penalties then?
Yeah, they do. They leave it to the judicial system to carry that out.
Okay.
So yes.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, on the amendments, all those in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes seem to have it. The ayes have it. The bill's before us is amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Any abstentions? Okay, the bill passes. Was there an amendment on this?
Yes, there was 3 amendments.
Anybody want to pile on? Apparently not. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I would just like to say thank you to the subcommittee for kind of working this bill. I know it wasn't like a really huge bill, but it's a very important bill. And there were several that kicked in extra, like Delegate Love, to help kind of clear up some issues that were outstanding. So thank you very much.
So at least we know the bill's not unconstitutional.
And there are no cameras. You don't have to put any cameras on the horses, the posts, the trails, none.
Okay. House Bill 716.
Yep, as amended, the subcommittee moved this favorable with amendments. As amended, the bill adds the Patuxent River Keeper as a permanent full voting member of the commission, and makes a couple other changes to the membership. So the one other person that we added was the president of the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science, also as a permanent voting member of the commission. Move the amendments.
Okay, is there a second on the amendment?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the bill as amended? Seeing none, I think we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
I sure had a question on this one.
Sure, Neil.
Thank you. Why the Patuxent River Commission? I saw in the testimony, a lot of people wanted favorable with amendments, and it looked like other groups that also probably wanted to be on the commission as well.
Yes, and the subcommittee debated a few of those other people, and at the end of the day decided that adding the part of this bill is ensuring that the Patuxent River Keeper is on the Patuxent River Commission. but that also adding the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science membership would be appropriate as well, given their focus on river science and marine science.
Thank you. And since we're voting, I'll vote yes.
Okay. Any noes? Any abstentions? The bill carries unanimous among those present, which I guess means everybody.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
could I be added to this bill?
Yes, you could.
Yes,
If
sir,
you-
Mr. Chair.
If you want to be added to the bill as a sponsor, put your hand up. And so first hand up is Sarah Love, then Marvin Holmes, then Brooke Learman, then Vaughn Stewart, Regina Boyce, Dana Stein, Jerry Clark, Jay Jalisi, David Fraser Hidalgo, Melissa Wells, Linda Foley, and Jim Gilchrist. When you're ready, please read that back.
Sure, that's delegates Love, Holmes, Learman, Stewart, Boyce, Stein, Clark, Jalisi, Fraser Hidalgo, Wells, Foley, and Gilchrist.
I think that sounds right. Everybody put your hands down and we will go to House Bill 777.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill, House Bill 777, received a favorable report from the subcommittee. There are no amendments, Mr. Chair. This bill requires a court in an action to petition real property to determine the market value of the property. It also establishes procedures for purchase of interest in real property, and it also specifies requirements relating to the sale of the property. Move the bill, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the bill before we vote? Delegate Jalisi, is your hand up from the amendment or do you have a question?
I have a question, Mr. Chair. We're on
Sure.
777 right now.
Yeah,
Okay, what bill did we just vote on?
716.
Oh, you know what? I must not have printed the last list. Okay, sorry.
It's all right. Okay, on 777, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, the bill carries unanimously. House Bill 885. Ann, that you?
House Bill 884, yes, this is another sheriff's salary bill from Howard County this time. Has the support of the local delegation and the subcommittee voted favorable.
Second.
Okay. All right. Any discussion on the bill? It's local. Hearing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The bill carries unanimously among those present. Let's go back to the first page where there was a bill that, hold on.
Yeah, this is HB 71, right?
Yeah, HB 71, that's right. Delegate Stewart, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you all for being patient with me. Sorry, I had to go camera off and on and all sorts of craziness in ECM. But anyway, HB 71 was voted out favorably by the Land Use and Ethics Subcommittee. As amended, the bill establishes that an owner of a manufactured housing community must comply with specified requirements when selling the community, including providing notice of the terms of the offer to each homeowner in the community and providing a homeowners organization with the opportunity to purchase the manufactured home community. There are a few amendments. Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 strikes the provisions of the bill that changes make changes to the processes of attachment and conversion of manufactured homes from personal to real property, which, by the way, Delegate Jacobs was the part that the bankers wanted us to take out, and we did. Amendment number 3 alters the provisions related to the sale of manufactured housing communities by modifying and adding definitions, modifying the timing provisions and the contents of the notice that must be delivered to the homeowners, requiring that a community owner shall consider an offer to purchase the manufactured housing community by a homeowners organization if made under the provisions of the act as amended. And finally, limiting the penalty provisions in the bill to willful failures to comply with the requirements and limiting the liability of a community owner for a violation. Mr. Chair, I'd like to move the amendments.
Okay, is there
Second.
a second? And there are seconds. Any discussion on the amendments? Delegate Jacobs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Delegate Stewart, in the during the testimony on the bill, MMHA had some issues with the bill. Did your amendments address their issues as well?
They did. Thank you very much, Delegate Jacobs, for the question. We were actually, as a subcommittee, and thanks many times to the subcommittee chair, Delegate Learman, for working with us on this, but the subcommittee was able to work with actually all the stakeholders, including MMHA, and there's no longer any opposition to this bill whatsoever.
Thank you very much.
Okay. On the bill, as
Mr. Chair, we actually had one other amendment that's a technical amendment that I'd like to move as well, to just make sure that all of the language, there's a word and transfer, the words and transfer need to be added in to a few different sections. So I'd just like to offer that amendment, which is a friendly and technical amendment, to Delegate Stewart and the committee as well.
You okay with that, Vaughn?
I am indeed. Second.
Okay, so on all those amendments, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the amendments signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The amendments carry. The bill's in force as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. On the bill, any discussion or debate? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The bill, House.
Looks like Delegate Parent is no.
Oh, Neil, are you opposed?
Opposed, yes.
Okay, okay, so it's 24-1. The bill carries, and I just think the idea of having a bill about mobile homes and manufactured homes being presented by a person with a deep Southern Alabama accent is so. I'm just joking.
My first job, Mr. Chairman, was actually at a mobile home renovation business.
Was it really?
Yeah, I worked once the mobile homes were repossessed in Talladega, Alabama. I as a teenager, fixed them up a little bit and then we resold them.
Wow. So they paid you minimum wage and then hiked up the price by $5,000.
Sub minimum wage, very sub minimum wage, Mr. Chairman. It was extremely off the books.
Okay.
There's no minimum wage in Alabama.
Not just undocumented workers. Okay. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 8 bills that are being withdrawn. I just want to explain. I'm withdrawing my bill that had to do with land use reporting for housing. Let me just tell you why I'm withdrawing it. I'm withdrawing it because after spending a lot of time talking with the Department of Planning, I came to the conclusion that A, not every county had the information. B, the planning department didn't have the tools to do this. And so we're going to have a summer study on this. Melissa Wells has expressed an interest on this. I feel pretty strongly that we need to know where all the housing in the state of Maryland is in order to be able to make intelligent decisions. So if you are at all interested in participating with me and Melissa in this summer study, just let me know offline. So, okay, so the motion is unfavorable. Bills withdrawn by sponsor, and I'll read the bill numbers off for the record. House Bill 130, 151, 387, 469, 705, 875, 1224, and 1289. Motion unfavorable. Is there a second?
Excuse me,
Second.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
you said for the record, you said 1224. It's 1024.
Did I say, okay, 1024.
I'm in the voting session. Can I call you back?
Sure.
I'll call you back. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the motion's unfavorable. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of the unfavorable motion with bills withdrawn by sponsor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All those bills are formally withdrawn. Announcements. Any announcements? Okay, Vice Chairman has an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Environment Subcommittee will be meeting Monday at 4 p.m.
Okay, and remember, everybody, we have to be in town at 6 p.m. on Monday. DFH.
Motor vehicle, look for an email, probably Tuesday.
Anyone else? Any other subcommittee chairs? Okay, then anybody have any announcements for the good of the group? Well, then in that case, have a great weekend and a great relaxing weekend, and see you Monday at 6 p.m. on the floor. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.